business leaders, you're often told to think about work-life balance. But I think that what we really want is work-life happiness. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So 2 questions I always ask in my seminars is, number 1, would you like to be happy? And number 2, well, how much have you actually studied it? Right? So there's often a pretty big disconnect that in our education and even in our business training, we don't really learn a lot about your own well-being. And that's why I do what I do as a speaker and consultant focused on happier work. I'm basically a professional happiness nerd is the title I've been given. Thank you. Yeah. And in the next 4 minutes or so, I want to give you 2 hows for work-life happiness that you can take back to your people and your organization that don't have to do with time management. So let's talk about why this is so important. So there's a consensus now in positive psychology that, to quote a popular book, happier people are more creative, more engaged, and more successful. And there's actually a study of college freshmen that the number 1 thing that predicted future success was not parent income, it was not family education level, and it was not IQ, it was actually happiness. What's going on here? Well, happier companies also perform better. So in this study, you see that the Thrive XM, top 100 companies with the highest employee well-being, outperform their peers in the Fortune 500 in both margin and return on equity. So whether you're thinking about this as individuals or as organizations, it's really happiness that fuels success. So let's talk about requirements. Number 1, how you view problems. Number 2, how you view solutions. Number 3, humor. All right, thank you. All right, this is going to go only downhill from here. So the biggest problem, right? What's the biggest problem? It's often how we relate to our problems. And sometimes I ask, who here likes surprises? No? All right. I was going to say, bullshit. You know, some people say they like surprises, but you really like the surprises you want. Surprises you don't want, you call them problems, right? So just in that example, you can see how it's really our expectation and our attitude that determines if it's a problem or not. So this is much better than positive thinking. It's actually rational thinking. So if you have a problem and there's a solution, why worry? If you have a problem and there's no solution, there's nothing you can do. So why worry? And you can get this built into a software from me for $10,000 as a consultant. But it's really about reframing. And this is what cognitive behavioral therapy teaches people to do. Reframing your problems. So now that we've talked about problems, let's talk about solutions. And when I talk about solutions, I'm really talking big picture. What am I solving for? So the problem with successful people like everyone in this room is often that happiness becomes an and then. Right, so I got to get the promotion, I got to get the job, I got to get more salary, and then I'll be happy. And often I find when I ask myself, what am I really solving for? What am I optimizing for? What am I living for? I find that the answer is not happiness. It's efficiency or productivity or success. So I thought, because this is a happiness talk, I'd share the top 5 regrets of the dying. So, and this is important because it goes back to what are we solving for? So, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Oh, some of you are maybe thinking that one. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I'd stay in touch with friends. I wish I'd let myself be happier. So why do I share that? It goes back to solutions. What am I solving for? I want you to answer that question for yourself. What am I solving for? So, to review our requirements, change how you view problems. Why worry? How you view solutions. What am I solving for? And remember that whether you're thinking about this as an individual or as an organization, in either case, if you prioritize work-life happiness, you will be better and you will be more successful. So, some parting life advice. Happiness is really all about relationships. So, number 1, find a partner who makes you smile. Number 2, find a partner who really listens to you. Number 3, find a partner who's great in bed. And finally, make sure these 3 people don't find out about each other. And remember, a sense of humor is required. Thank you, and I wish you all work-life happiness.